Hello, guys. The Chandal Chokdi is back for the fifth and the final part of the election podcast. Don't worry, results के बाद मिलेंगे, but it will take longer for the elections to happen than it took us to record all the episodes. So I guarantee you, बहुत कुछ बदलेगा, a lot will happen, and we may even do a mid election update or something. But before that, we have to first finish our preview, and then in the end I'm going to ask everyone for predictions. I never told them before I started recording that I'm going to ask for them, so now I am, but I did give them a hint because we are recording before 19th April. This is the 14th of April, before election commission comes and hounds Kishor or Rohit for saying pehle ke numbers bata diye. So we are going to reveal our numbers before. Again, we have not conducted our opinion poll, but we have reviewed a lot of data points. We have talked to people, and so we are going to give our predictions at the end. But before that, this is the schedule of, or the part, the subtopics of this type's podcast. That word escaped me. We'll start with the states of the Northeast, which we forgot. We ran out of time. I shouldn't say we forgot. We ran out of time in the first podcast. So we talk about Sikkim. We'll talk about Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Arunachal. We talked a little bit about Arunachal, but we'll go in detail in Tripura, and then we'll go straight to the west of India, because we only talked a little bit about Gujarat and Rajasthan in the first podcast because all the seats and candidates were not out, and then we'll end with the biggest, closest election of them all, Maharashtra, and see what everyone's perspective on that is. So buckle up. It's going to be a fascinating podcast. Before I go into Sikkim and Arunachal, any initial thoughts, Rohit, Kishor, or Mohal, on what has happened in the last week? The manifestos are out, the candidates are out, and we have a few battle royals happening in India.
So some of the promises coming out from the BJP manifesto are really interesting. I am very intrigued by ideas of, involving foreign policy elements. For instance, the celebration of Sri Ram across the world, which is quite an interesting idea. I'm also seeing, things like focus on the mid MSME sector, especially the important issue of working capital requirement that has been a big factor. But the government has been trying to address for years now, being a mainstream of their agenda. I'm also seeing interesting areas being observed. For instance, fisheries becoming something so important. So, manifesto had some interesting points. Some concerning points for me, of course, at a personal level. I don't know how the UCC Uniform Civil Code will come through, or how will the, for instance, the issue of what was that? So, okay, I just talk about the UCC as an issue. I mean, I don't know how it will play itself out. Sorry, one nation, one election. I want to see how that plays out. So, yeah. So, I mean, mixed bag sort of thing, but definitely very interesting, how to say, contrast to what the Congress had promised, which was basically talking about mathematics that cannot happen unless it is using imaginary numbers.
Absolutely. I think it's politics. The economics part will come after the election. So I think these are ideas and stuff, and I'm personally okay with that. You have to promise the moon and then deliver. We have this engineers. We joke about this. You have to you have to be careful with the over promises, but you have to promise something, right? In terms of, so it's something to look forward to for the next 5 years and stuff. And the strange part is now BJP does not have to write about 370 and Ram Mandir in the manifesto. They have to say ki kar diya, right? It's that Uddhav Thackeray and Shiv Sena, or this is when Bala Saheb was alive in 2012. They had the BMC slogan Karun Dakhwala, which is the Marathi way of saying ki kar diya. That is the thing of this. But I'll come to Kishor next. Kishor, Prime Minister Modi is in your state right now, doing a show in Mangaluru live as we speak.
Mangaluru, yeah, he did a rally.
Yes.
He did a rally in Mysore, patted on the back of Pratap Sinha. So that was something.
Why is that Mysore? It should be Mysuru.
Mysuru, yes. Thank you for correcting me. Mysuru. No. One thing to note there. One thing that of key interest was how would he react to Pratap Sinha on stage, the best performing outgoing member of parliament from Karnataka, patted on the back. So looks like all's good there. Pratap Sinha will be accommodated somewhere, somehow in the later, somewhere in the future. But that apart, he is now in a roadshow in Mangaluru. Mangaluru is the original saffron citadel in
Absolutely.
Karnataka. Even last time around in the assembly election, the roadshow was phenomenal. This time around also seems to be quite a phenomenal one. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, and
but that apart, in terms of the election manifesto, I think two things that you mentioned, 370 Ram Mandir gives BJP a unique opportunity to start with a clean slate after all these years, after all these decades. Two things that struck out for me were the insurance for senior citizens and also the other things with regards to nutrition and national cooperative policy. So I think they are ensuring that they keep track of not only the organized sector but also the unorganized or the semi-organized sector. So I think that way they're trying to cover as many bases as they can. Adit?
absolutely. I agree. I think Mangaluru or Mangalore, as we say, demographics also plays a very key role in the BJP, and coastal Karnataka especially is BJP's fortress. It's become BJP's fortress apart from Bangalore and other parts of Karnataka. So it's
True,
a
true. Yeah.
fascinating situation there. Uh, the BJP in Karnataka has always been a party of three one thirds. Like they have their bases in the Lingayat dominant belt of northern Karnataka, which is that is the Kalyana Karnataka, right? What used to be called as the Bombay Karnataka, or am I flipping it
Uh,
around? That
yeah,
is
flipping it around.
there is
Kittur
Kittur. Sorry,
Karnataka. Yeah, Kittur
Kittur
Karnataka
Karnataka.
is the
Yes,
Hubli Dharwad, the Belgavi belt.
correct. Well,
Kalyan Karnataka is the Hyderabad Karnataka, which is not BJP's strong
that
forte
is
for a
the
long.
Gulbarga, Bidar, all those seats are there.
Right,
Correct. So
right.
it's interesting. So also this actually plays into, and Mohal, I'm coming to you in a second, but this plays into this. We have been seeing that BJP right now is not just trying to get new areas. Yes, Tamil Nadu mein or sab mein hai. The more rallies and the kind of nominees we are saying is BJP is safeguarding all their bases. So whether you see Shivraj from Vidisha sending out a message that Shivraj is, I mean, Vidisha, any BJP lamppost is going to win. Shivraj is going to probably win by 5 to 6 lakh votes. I mean, it's he's from there, right? But the message you're sending out is the ex-chief minister has been accommodated, so you want that impact to be in the seats around and so forth. And we're going to talk a little bit about Madhya Pradesh also on that. But Mohal, your quick takes before I go straight into the states.
A couple of things. One was that the Maharashtra seats have been assigned, and interestingly, I know we'll talk later that the the Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Thackeray faction, has been assigned more seats than Congress, which was kind of interesting. And also the the election manifesto of BJP came out, which had some interesting things. I think Rohit touched upon a few of them, but one thing which was sort of like putting a man on the moon uh, uh, was one of the promises, and also unlike the Congress where they have absolutely no idea of what it will cost the nation, I don't think there are any major new freebies promise in the BJP manifesto. Unlike the Congress, I mean, I mean, I don't know if people saw that interview of with Karan Thapar of Praveen Chakravarti, where Karan Thapar kept pressing him like, "What's the cost of these new freebies?" And he couldn't even come up with a cogent answer on that.
Hmm. Yeah, wo to. I mean, I saw clips of it and stuff. I cannot, unfortunately, watch Karan Thapar for more than 20 minutes in 1 week. He gets on my nerves. Especially after he talked about Dhruv Rathi as if he was some, incarnation of God knows who. So, but on a lighter note, Congress should write in their manifesto. Congress will also send a man to the moon. His name is Rahul Gandhi, and they will get so many votes if they actually say that कि अब राहुल जी astronaut बनेंगे, prime minister नहीं बनेंगे. And he can give some he can give some exit velocity explanation also when it comes to the rockets going. This might work. But before we get into, and actually that's the thing, we've we've done almost 5 hours worth of content, and we probably haven't even talked about more than 5 or 10 minutes of Rahul Gandhi. That's how irrelevant he is in this election. I repeat that Congress, whatever it wins, because they will win some seats, will be only because of their local leadership, not because of all this. Having said that, let's go to Sikkim. Let's start the states. Aja, we're going to do something else for Northeast. I'm not going to come to one-on-one. You guys just come in whenever you're ready to make a point or something. We just do multiple states at a time because the amount of seats are less, but I don't want us to focus less on the issues. So any points you guys have, just jump right in. So let me start with Sikkim. Sikkim's an interesting one because Sikkim, the SDF, the original NDA partner, is now a part of is contesting separately, but then Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, which is an offshoot of the SDM, is now a part of the NDA and is contesting, and it looks like that SKM is going to win. They won last time as well. So what do you guys think?
It's interesting. I mean, BJP is also contesting separately, interestingly, with Dinesh Chandra Nepal. But so far, whatever seems to be coming out in terms of news, local news, mostly it seems Sikkim Krantikari Morcha will be winning the election. And then it is a default partner of the NDA because generally tends to happen with the northeastern state. The parties, regional parties try to ally with the national government for
That's correct.
ensuring that development takes place in the center and things like that.
So it will
But
be a pickup for NDA. Sorry, but like it will be a pickup for NDA because
No,
last
no,
time it was like
they,
a third party,
exactly,
third
exactly.
front
So
which
when
won.
an NDA seat, all in all, one can safely say that. Though one of the interesting issues that has come up in recent times in the
no.
state of
Last
Sikkim,
time NDA only won.
No, no, no,
no,
no. They were
Sikkim,
not part of the NDA.
No. That's what
no,
Rohit is saying. Na? They always
uh,
become a part of whoever is in power.
But at least,
As
I
soon
mean,
as they,
pre-election they were not part of
yeah,
NDA. That's what.
pre-election they're not contesting that way, definitely.
Hmm.
So, and Indra Hanga Supa was the in fact MP last time. He's the outgoing MP in fact. So,
No,
uh,
with regards to Sikkim, I think
Hmm.
Sikkim has had a unique arrangement right from the early 1980s.
Hmm.
The SDF, they have been winning, but what they have always told us, no matter when we win, whoever comes to power in Delhi, we will support that alliance. It can be the
Hmm.
Congress-led alliance or the BJP-led alliance, simply because we need support to develop our hilly
State.
state. And that is why we don't want to be sandboxed into any particular alliance, but at the same time, we want to ensure that we get maximum visibility in Delhi. And I think the offshoot party that you just mentioned, they may be talking about the same strategy going forward as well.
And I mean, and Pawan Kumar Chamling, like he was the longest serving chief minister of 24 years and 165 days. But I think if, I mean, we all expect Naveen Babu to win again. So shortly he will lose that crown in like, let's say 100 days from after post election.
Yeah, maybe that is the deal between Naveen and Modi. You become the longest serving CM. I will be the longest serving PM.
technically, the longest serving CM by the way is Manik Sarkar, Tripura, more than 30 years. So,
Was it more than 30 years? I thought it was a little less than 30.
yeah, Manik Sarkar was 3 decades if I remember correctly.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, you're right. No. Manik Sarkar
No,
was
he's like
20
19, just
20
under
years.
20 years.
20, okay.
So it will be Naveen Babu.
Then it
So
was Pawan Chamling.
huh,
Yeah, definitely.
yes, absolutely. But going from the Sikkim to basically Manipur. Now Manipur is a state where I have a little bit of a difficulty believing the poll numbers that we've been put out. The poll numbers, and BJP is actually fighting this in alliance. BJP and NPF as the NDA allies. ABP News Sea Water is giving both seats to NDA. Given the situation in Manipur, I find it hard to believe that they are getting both inner and outer Manipur. What do you guys think?
I mean, inner they might win, but like outer, where the disaffection with the state government and the central government is like might be tough.
Yeah. Exactly. That just seems tough. So outer Manipur is also where there is a last time NPF won. They have changed the name, changed the nominee this time. And outer Manipur, in inner Manipur is I think BJP won it last time. Very minor margin. R.K. Ranjan Singh won. R.K. Ranjan Singh had a lot of issues with the in during the protests himself. as a sitting MP. So that maybe that's why BJP has changed. But I personally would not be surprised if both the seats actually went to the Congress party.
Yeah, interestingly, the Outers Manipur seat, which is got a significant population of the Nagas, which is one of the reasons why the Naga People's Front has been given. It is interesting that in all the ethnic conflict that has been going on for now quite some time, and it has been in volatile state,
Hmm.
the region that is, the Nagas have actually not been involved in any conflict with any community per se, and
Hmm.
they've been sitting out of it, which was a very good, I think, very mature thing to do from the community as a whole,
Hmm.
instead of getting into the conflict, because I think it is probably from their own realization over decades that conflict solves nothing for them. So that could, so I actually would rather say the tables are the other way. Maybe the inner Manipur seat is the one that is in real contest, and the outer Manipur seat might still be going to the NDA.
Going to the India.
I want to see if Maharaj Kumar Senjawa, who's the royal family scion of Manipur, if he
Hmm.
will be an active campaigner or not.
Uh,
From his Instagram page, which I follow interestingly,
hmm.
I do see that he's been doing people's outreach for a while now in the lower Valley region. So
The amazing part about Indian elections, and which never surprises me, is look who's fighting one. इस इलेक्शन में होगी मस्ती भरपूर क्योंकि अठावले जी is also going to Manipur. And if people don't know why I said it, you really don't know who Ramdas Athavale is.
the man who came up with the phrase of "Go Corona" can do anything. Let's not
हाँ,
pretend.
और आई मीन मैंने कहीं उसको देखा था, ऐसी है मेरी शक्ल कि शर्मा जाए भी किसी का टकल, ऐसा कुछ समथिंग वियर्ड सा उसने कुछ पार्लियामेंट में ऐसा कुछ बोला था. रामदास अठावले इज अ लेजेंड इन हिमसेल्फ. सो एंड दैट इज व्हाई
Uh,
महाराष्ट्र इज रिजर्व्ड फॉर द लास्ट. हाँ, गो अहेड किशोर.
yeah, but one thing with regards to Manipur, I think the Nyaya Yatra, the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra somehow was not taken kindly by the electorate of
हाँ.
Manipur. I think there has been quite a bit of unhappiness within the Manipur Congress,
Mhm.
asking why the hell did you have to come to Manipur? Why couldn't you have stayed away from Manipur when we all never asked you to come here? So I
That's
think
right.
that was one thing that I feel might actually be a surprise factor. We need to watch out for that.
See, with Rahul Gandhi, here's the thing: better to remain silent and assumed of a fool, rather than speak your
Yeah,
mind and remove all doubt, or in his case, travel and remove all doubt.
yeah. No,
So
one
that is.
important thing, by the way,
Absolutely.
that we forgot in all of this is that one of the insurgent groups who are ethnically Kuki,
Hmm.
uh, their chief was actually arrested in Bangladesh very recently.
Hmm.
So it might also, create some kind of impact in
Hmm.
Manipur for all we know. I want
Hmm.
to see how it plays out. The whatever the spill off in Manipur will have probably a bearing even on Mizoram, because the cookies are the one who dominate in Mizoram. So just jumping into another state that way.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Well, let me go to Mizoram in a second. I had Meghalaya pulled up.
Mm.
So then we'll go to Mizoram in a second. Meghalaya is again very interesting because Meghalaya BJP has said we are not contesting. They are essentially giving it to NPF, which is the NPP. I'm sorry, the National People's Party, which is P.S. Sangma's party, right? And
Mm.
Conrad is, I think, obviously the NEDA ally. Your current chief minister and stuff, and his Agatha Sangma is fighting basically her sister, and P.S. Sangma's daughter is fighting there. She was a minister under the UPA government, but then subsequently NCP, they split from the NCP and formed the NPP because people that forget, before the NCP currently split, 20 years ago in 1998, a certain man called Sharat Chandra Pawar split from the Congress party because of Sonia Gandhi's foreign origin, and two people joined with him, Tariq Anwar and P.S. Sangma, and which is why P.S. Sangma was absolutely hated by uh, Miss Sonia Gandhi, as speaker and stuff, because he on principle never supported her, and which is, it's rumored. So when P.S. Sangma was the face against Pranab Mukherjee in 2012, and he was canvassing, they were saying that BJP may not have assured of him of a victory, but at least they have needled Sonia Gandhi with the one person that gets him needled the most. So, Mr. Sangma is there. So, given the fact, I think NPP should sweep both the seats. I really,
Should be, yeah.
it should. The interesting part is India TV is giving one seat to the India Alliance, which is going to be Shillong. Tura is their traditional PA Sangma seat. The Sangma family has won it for a long time. Here,
Yeah.
here you go from 1991. So I don't see anything changing
No,
there. What
even
do you
before
guys
that,
think?
1977 onwards,
That's
just
actually, yes,
one blip.
just one selection. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
really don't see Agatha dropping that seat. What do you guys think?
Yeah, yeah. So
I think
Agatha
this
will.
was the. Yeah, go
Yeah.
on, sir.
Maybe Mohan, Mohan, go.
No, so I think this was the one state other than Assam in the northeast where Congress won a seat in 2019,
Hmm.
Meghalaya. So if they have any chance, like it, they would be looking to pick up, at least hold on to that one seat from
Shillong.
2019. But yeah, and this was also the state where again NDA drew a blank. But now with the NPP as their partners, they could pick up more seats in the northeast. I mean, the NDA alliance, not BJP, since BJP is not even contesting
Correct.
here.
And the reason why they won Shillong also, I believe, is because BJP was contesting and not NPP. That this comfortably last time, because you see the difference. I think you had the UDP, which was like, there are so many alliances that are happening in that. But now UDP is along with Trinamool Congress. They have done some setting that no one knows. But Trinamool Congress is an interesting thing. Sushmita Dev focused quite a bit in Assam, and I don't think she was that successful in Trinamool Congress being a factor, because then otherwise we would have seen, we talked about Assam the last election, we would have seen Congress doing some sort of setting with Trinamool in Assam, like they did with Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat, which a lot of local Congress people are mad about. So I don't know. But any quick thoughts before we move to Mizoram, guys?
So, I mean, the seats basically get divided on Khasi and Garo lines effectively,
Hmm.
right? Khasi and
Hmm.
Garo Jain. The Sangma family comes from the Garo tribe, so definitely their numbers also get them moving forward. Um, Khasi tribe has always had some kind of, I mean, has always viewed BJP with a bit of suspicion anyway. So, for any alliance of that region to be winning the seat is a mountain of a sorts to climb. So, I want to see how it comes out. I think the 1-1 split that is being given is probably the fair one, and
Hmm.
the the India Alliance will definitely manage to hold on to the Shillong seat somehow. Though, I mean, I don't know if it will be good for the seat for the state in the long run,
Hmm.
but highly likely that is going to be the case.
That's right. Mizoram is one state where I don't expect NDA to do a pickup. Initially, they were giving it to MNF, which is a part of the NDA, but all the polls since February have giving it to ZPM, and I think ZPM is won quite a bit of seats last time as well. Last time it was won by MNF, but I think it's probably going to be ZPM that wins. What do you guys think?
So as I said earlier, what's been going on in Manipur, the Kuki Mitai conflict for a while now. Mitais are
Hmm.
not considered ST, by the way, for those who don't know. So the Kuki people have definitely not been very happy with the kind of security action that has been going on in the state. The arrest of the Kuki insurgent group leader that I was mentioning earlier would
Hmm.
also probably not have a very positive sentiment
Hmm.
for the people of Mizoram, because they see, especially the people from the Kachin people from Myanmar coming in as their blood brothers.
Hmm.
So, for that very reason, I mean, they've been, unlike the NDA, they've been a very strong advocate of an open border policy,
Hmm.
irrespective of party lines, except for the BJP in the state. And BJP has been talking about fencing the border on the northeast. I think that's also manifesto now.
Hmm.
So,
Uh,
if that happens, then definitely it is not something that will get them any popularity, win them any popularity contest in Mizoram. So, the India Alliance probably and ZPM will eventually fall in the India Alliance kitty, I guess. Will probably be getting that seat.
Absolutely. What do you guys think, Mohal and Kishore, before we move to Nagaland? Okay.
Uh, Again, because it was a small state, the margins will anyway be small. And yeah, with all the turmoil, the intertribal conflicts,
Mhm.
I think this will not be an NDA victory.
Pick up.
That is
Correct.
something that yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So Nagaland is interesting, and Mohal, you go first about Nagaland. you in Nagaland again, NDA has just one seat in NDPP, which was a part of the NPF. So it used
Yeah.
to be nephew Rio's party. Then he split to NDPP, and now NDPP is going to contest. I don't think BJP is contesting this time as well, and I
No,
think
even
NDPP.
last time NDPP was in an alliance with BJP,
Hmm,
which was because a three-way contest versus Congress and NPF.
correct.
So it would be probably a continuation of the three-way contest this time
That's right.
around.
So I was just trying to show the last time's election result, which was right here. NPP got NPP got about 14-15,000 votes, but used to be NPF. Now it's NDPP. That split, and then NDPP and Congress. But it's a pretty close election always. It's one seat and stuff. But hopefully, I think in the new Lok Sabha, Nagaland gets two seats or something, because given the population, it probably
The
does deserve two seats.
one of the very fascinating things about the Nagaland political scene is that, except for the Congress, all other parties are actually part of the government there at the state level.
Yes, exactly.
That's quite fascinating. And by the way, one of BJP's most liked faces on a national
Hmm,
level, I forget, he's a minister from in the Nagaland government as well. I forget his name, and he's considered very cute. I forget his name. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
Along.
Yeah, the chubby guy.
Temjen,
Yeah.
Temjen, yeah, Temjen Along.
Yeah, Tenzing Along. So
yes.
he's one of the nice. I mean, he's an education minister, in fact, in the state, and he's very popular with the youth
Hmm,
of late, because he's been talking about very progressive things similar to what the prime minister talks about: education, jobs, startups. So I mean, not today. Maybe in the future, maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, you might actually see the BJP contesting the its own
hmm, hmm.
and winning if Tenzin Along is made the candidate. You never know.
Correct. Correct. So moving from Nagaland to Tripura, now if there was ever a left versus right contest given, it is Tripura happening, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because the right is together now. Biplab Kumar Deb and Tipra Matha, which is the led by Pradyut Bikram Manikya Burma, the erstwhile ruling family that used to be anti NDA, which is the opposition party, now joined the NDA from 2024. They have 13 seats in the assembly, and his family has been given one seat to contest, which is the Tripura West, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Tripura East, I'm sorry. Kriti Singh will be contesting on the BJP symbol, and Tripura West, Biplab Dev. Now Tripura West, the Congress and the CPM are in alliance. CPM, we as Manik Saha was one of the longest serving CMs for 20 years, as we discussed, till 2018. But I think given that Kriti Singh is going to be contesting, it's a 2-0 sweep for NDA. If she wasn't, Congress and left would win both the seats. What do you guys think?
Manik Saha is BJP's current chief minister in the state. So it was
Hmm?
Manik Sarkar that was
Or
there.
Manik Sarkar. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that was
No, no.
a faux pas. Yes.
I two very strong observations that first of all
Hmm,
come up. One is the fact that they're sending Biplab Dev out of the state to the Lok Sabha. That is their
hmm,
intention, so that there is
hmm.
no dissent within the party and no factionalism that takes place
Correct.
any cost. He was the previous chief minister before Manik Saha was made the chief minister. Interestingly, BJP has become a party of the Bengali people,
Hmm,
uh, and it is a fault line that did definitely turn up in the previous Vidhan Sabha election.
hmm,
Interestingly, many people said that Pradyot Burman had some kind of a quiet understanding with the BJP to
hmm.
take all the tribal votes away from the Congress that could have possibly won it, or the left Congress
Exactly. Hmm,
left, and take it, and so create a three-way contest so that the BJP comes as the majority winner. But and maybe if that conspiracy theory is right, it did succeed. But it got fueled further by the fact that Pradyut Burman eventually ended up joining forces with the BJP again. One of his key planks, of course, has been the fact that the tribals have gotten marginalized in the state in a big way. It was originally their homeland, and the Bengali population, much like in Assam, mostly came from East Bengal of the time after 1947, and their numbers, and subsequently also various waves. Uh, One very interesting anecdote on not related to the election, interestingly. So, Mujibur Rahman apparently was tried and convicted in Pakistan during the Pakistan days of Bangladesh as in something called the Agartala conspiracy case, where all these
Fascinating.
apparently all these Awami League people were brought in and they were supposedly given training in and there was a conspiracy hatched by the Indian intelligence agency. तो उनके भी राह की तब रॉ नहीं था बट राह की ताकत basically वाला moment. So, I mean, there was a lot of. So, Agartala is famous in Pakistan to this day for that conspiracy, as
Hmm.
seen as one of the pivotal moments leading to the creation of Bangladesh eventually.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that aside, I would not be surprised if BJP wins, NDA rather wins both seats. I don't see the
Hmm.
Congress winning anything in the state because the
Hmm.
Congress is very weak today, and frankly, they are barely holding on to seats in mainstream states. For them, the frontier states, as they would think of it, or as Rajdeep says, the tyranny of distance from Delhi, as
Hmm.
Rajdeep keeps saying, frankly holds true for a lot of the Congress party workers in the northeastern states. Many of them have been very unhappy with the way things have been running in the way affairs have been running in these states now. So you might just see people not even bothering their own cadre, rather not even bothering to come out and vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. So moving from moving from
I
Tripura.
just have one point to
Ah,
add in terms
yes,
of
please do.
Tripura.
Huh.
Uh, it was quite obvious that with the India alliance, the left and the Congress would split 1 seat each and contest. Now, Tripura, the party, obviously, since they anyway had differences of opinion with BJP, they would then be left with nothing to show. And I think that also helped them to take the final decision. Point number one. Point number two, once they had decided that they would go ahead with the BJP and be part of the NDA, I think there was no looking back for them. The alliance was stitched up very early. The candidates were announced very early, maybe by about mid-February. We already knew who would be contesting. So I think that way, Tripura was one of the first states where the playing field was already decided well before any other state. Adit?
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you. So moving from Tripura to Arunachal is, of course, a seat where the NDA has historically done well. Mr. Rijiju, a senior minister of the government, comes from there. He's fighting Arunachal West. And last election, NDA had 58.2% vote. Arunachal is one state which exemplifies the craziness sometimes of the Northeast, जहाँ पे सारी पार्टियां एक साथ कूदती है. मतलब 15 MLAs from one party just go and shift to the other party, and
Including the
in
chief minister.
including the chief minister. In that glorious tradition, I think BJP should win both the seats. I cannot see they have nominated two old school stalwarts in Kiran Rijiju and Tapir Gao. Arunachal West is kind of a big time fight because Nabam Tuki is the ex chief minister, so they have a chance. So Arunachal East, they are going to win as well. What do you guys think?
Definitely, I think what has happened with respect to, and Arunachal is frankly a state that gets very heavily affected by some of the foreign policy or geopolitical events that are taking place. The recent move by China to say that Zagaon, I think that's the name they use for Arunachal Pradesh, Zogran is a part of China, and they started naming places randomly in the region and all that. I mean, shenanigans that they were up to. People in the state are very nationalistic and definitely will vote for the government that they see is holding up for their interests, which is by default right now the Narendra Modi government. So I don't see any other party, frankly, winning. I mean, BJP will definitely score more than 50% votes yet again. I mean, I don't see anything else happening in the state.
Don't forget that Arunachal is also electing its legislative assembly now,
Yeah.
and 10 BJP contestants have already been declared the winners because there are no others fighting those elections there
Not
in
surprised.
those constituencies. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
10 or upwards of 10. So
yeah.
underlines the importance of the dominance of BJP as a party there, and obviously China shadow looming large, it will obviously people will obviously want to prefer BJP there. Adit, you're on mute.
Yes, sorry. The other thing is also people in Arunachal also Hindi is spoken quite a bit. So the prime minister is campaigned there in also Hindi and stuff like that. There are local languages that are spoken. There are tribal languages that are spoken, but Hindi and English are the primary. But Hindi is spoken quite a bit. So that
You
is
know,
something
one
that's
thing in
very
general
interesting.
for the Northeast that a lot of people tend to, still not give enough credit. I think it started to come up a bit now. But in the last 10 years, the transformation of the region in general has been, one that is a story every Indian will be proud of. Simple reasons, just getting infrastructure in place, just getting basic governance delivery in place. People are, you're getting people to, at least go beyond the sense of conflict or isolation and becoming so mainstream. You see the youth of the different states coming to India. I remember earlier, late last year, I was in Bengaluru. I talked to one kid who had come all, who was from Nagaland, who was working in a hotel at the reception, and I was asking him what is the state of the railway connectivity to Dimapur. And he said, "Oh, it's on track. It will take some time." But he was very excited because he said, "I am otherwise not able to go home more than once every 3 years. It's so difficult and so expensive for me to do by flight." So I mean, some things such basic as that are on track, and that is in itself so encouraging and so heartening to listen to. The sense of isolation being finally removed and people being willing to be happy about the fact that we are. And of course, tourism has become such a big thing for the Northeast. People going in droves from across India to the Northeast for the beautiful natural landscape there. So I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the transformation story. Of course, the Manipur conflict has been a bit of a bummer, but overall, Tripura. You look at in Assam. You look at how Alpha basically totally quiet. Bodo insurgency is totally quiet. Even in Nagaland, the way the situation is being handled is very good. So, kudos to the NDA government for having done that in the last 10 years and making people look forward to becoming you know looking forward for more and more different kinds of economic opportunities. Apples are coming from Nagaland, for heaven's sake. Citrus fruits are coming from Mizoram. What else do you want?
Truly, absolutely. What do you guys think, Mohal and Kishore, before we go from the east to the west?
One thing to note about the Northeast is lot of these 25 seats actually go to polls in the very first phase. Arunachal,
Absolutely.
Manipur,
Most of them, I think.
Mizoram,
Most
yeah,
of them.
one seat of Tripura, both seats of Meghalaya, almost 70-75% of the seats of Northeast would have already voted in the first phase, including the legislative assembly polls of Arunachal. So I think that is why you had a lot of news coming in from these regions very early. Let's see how things go. For Congress, I think it might be yet again another whitewash from that region, uh, barring one or two from Assam and Meghalaya. But that apart, they might not have anything to show for the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra.
Yeah, I
Right.
think the challenges to BJP is like I think even last time they were looking to win 20 out of 25 seats. Last
Hmm.
time they got to NDA got to 15, like 14 for BJP and one for its ally, which was I think in Nagaland. So the challenge is can they increase the tally to like maybe 20ish. I mean that would be the challenge, but let's see.
Let's see. It truly is going to be interesting. But moving from there to another state that goes to polls in the first two phases, the state of Rajasthan, which is turning out to be a fascinating contest. So before I get our panel in, let me just show you what happened in Rajasthan last election. Fairly simple. BJP swept the entire state. Their ally at that time, Mr. Hanuman Beniwal, won his seat of Nagaur. Again, as I always say, in India we have Satrap, so the Republic of Nagaur. It's a very interesting seat. If I look at Nagaur, he won it. Jyoti Mirda, who was the Congress nominee, is now the BJP face this time, and Mr. Hanuman Beliwal is from RLP again, but he's supported by the Congress this time. So how that pans out remains to be seen. And then there are other factors in Rajasthan as well that we talk about. The primary thing I want to discuss is the vote share. If you look, NDA got more than 60% vote share. Rajasthan and Gujarat had almost similar numbers. The Congress barely touched 35%, which was strangely a change of 1.6 positive from the last time, but because that's how they did in 2014. If you look at the margins, BJP had a comfortable win in most seats. The only two seats where they were even close, than less than 1 lakh votes, is the Karoli Dholpur seat and the Dausa seat, which have been traditionally Congress strongholds. Dausa, of course, being Mr. Sachin Pilot's old seat, where Mr. Narendra Modi was campaigning yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, Having said that, 2024 is a little different dynamics. Vasundhara Raje is no longer the primary big face of BJP in Rajasthan. It's the Chief Minister, Mr. Bhajan Lal Sharma. She's not. I haven't even seen campaigning much, so I think BJP has taken a calculated decision. Uh, Congress has done this strange alliance. It says 23, but it should be 22 seats. I don't know if CPM has been given 1 seat, RLP has been given 1 seat, and Bharat Adivasi Party. This is actually a smart alliance by Congress because they are trying to make sure that जो भी anti BJP vote कहीं पे भी है, every thousands they want in their kitty. Right now, this could backfire also. BSP is still there, but BSP is not usually a factor in more than 2 or 3 seats in Rajasthan. So, having said that, and we'll go over the nominees, your initial thoughts first.
So Rajasthan is turning out in a very fascinating way. I think 4 or 5 seats definitely seem to be in contest. I think Churu is one, Nagaur is another one. Though I've also heard that in Nagaur, the Congress is actually openly, many local Congress leaders are basically sabotaging the chance of Hanuman Prasad Beniwal by undercutting him. The sentiment, though, in the state is not very good because by and large, many of the Congress leaders have literally given up. So, for instance, in Jaipur, Pratap Singh Kachariawaz has been heard, literally complaining कि मेरे को क्यों टिकट दे दिया, हमारे तो चांस ही नहीं है, हमारी इतनी दुर्गति होने वाली है. That kind of stuff literally to the media. Like मैं तो ready भी नहीं था contest करने के लिए. That kind of stuff going on. So when you hear those things being said by somebody who's been given a Lok Sabha ticket or candidacy,
That's right.
that's not a good sign at all.
Hmm.
But having said that, I think I would like to see how it works out. ST seats would definitely be going towards BJP from my own assessment, given how the results were also seen in the Vidhan Sabha. So the tribal party might not necessarily be such a big impact. I want to see what happens though in Dausa, Nagaur, and Churu, particularly. So let's see. Bikaner, in fact, could be another seat, by the way, where the BJP, I would say, Mr. Arjun Ramdegwal might actually have a very tough contest on his hands because of what's been going on in recent.
Correct. And also, there is another seat, Baswada, because Baswada mein Congress had 4.1 lakh votes. Kantilal Raut of the BTP had 2.5 lakh votes, and BJP had about 7 lakh votes. So now the margin from 3 lakhs is now reduced to 40,000. So it's now a 40,000 seat margin, well within the area of I think. And BJP, noticing that, has also changed their nominee. They've given Mahendrajit Singh Malavia is the nominee there. One very interesting thing about Baswada is where it's located as well. It is right at the border. It's a trifecta. It's Gujarat on one side and MP on the other side. That is right here in this region. So that is why you have BAP, which is actually an offshoot of the Bharatiya Tribal Party, right, which is the BTP. It split from it, and basically this is the Rajasthan version of the BTP. And you have areas like Dungarpur, Sagwada. A lot of people from Dungarpur and that region actually labor comes from there to Gujarat for work and stuff, and vice versa as well. So there are a lot of other, and this is an entirely tribal area. All the seats are ST seats, as you can see. So this is going to be some interesting seats. But Rajasthan, at least in my perspective, has 4 or 5 contests. If I were to go, one is Churu, because Rahul Kaswan from the NDA has crossed over to the Congress, and they've given it to Devendra Jajaria. The other seat is Alwar, where Bhupendra Yadav and Lalit Yadav are fighting right now. That's going to be an interesting seat. And 3 other seats are Nagaur, Dausa, Tong Savai Madhopur, and then Baswada. These are the 5 to 6 seats where there is a potential chance of when it comes to Udaipur, Jhalawar and Kota, I think they're going to be pretty sweep home. Bhilwara is another one that is a traditional BJP seat, but the Congress has given it back to Mr. CP Joshi. So we'll see how that works. So having said that, Mohal, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think looking at even 2018, where BJP only got 38% of the vote in the Vidhan Sabha elections, but just in 6 months down the road, in the Lok Sabha, there was a 20% swing, which is like crazy if you think about it. Like usually you don't see within 6 months 20% swings unless like you have a very low turnout. So given the results of the
Or
20,
Pulwama? We are forgetting there was a big factor in 2019, nationalism.
Sure, I mean, not to discount it, but given the results of the Vidhan Sabha, of the recently concluded Vidhan Sabha, it would be fair to say that, I mean, obviously there will be these few outliers, as you say, like 4 to 5 seats where there will be a contest, but BJP should win like vast majority of like upwards of 20 seats. But which will, I mean, even if they lose, let's say, I'm not saying they will lose 5 seats, but even if they lose, it's a big loss to the BJP. But yeah, there will be like close contest. But what I wanted to say is like that this dynamic of like the people voting very differently in the state or on the national election. I think even when you look at surveys, like let's say from the close elections like Karnataka 2023, or you say uh, a Gujarat 2017, when even if you look at the exit poll reports, even at least like 10% of the people who don't vote for BJP do say that they are going to be voting for Prime Minister Modi or BJP on the national stage. So looking at those trends, I mean, you can fairly say that it should be like BJP should win large majority of the seats from
Yeah,
Rajasthan.
but I will say this is not unusual for Rajasthan. Ashok Gehlot actually won 36% of the vote in 2008. In the Vidhan Sabha in 2009, Congress comes back to close to 48% of the vote. So in 6 months, same. So
Yeah.
and that was actually after the they actually won both that and this after 2611, or I think maybe the election happened before. Yeah, both of them happened after 2611. So it's kind of strange, but so Rajasthan has voted that way, and I think that it's more and more now in trends where people actually do split ticket voting in the assembly and stuff. What is interesting is the complete demise of Mayawati. So someone actually told me that BJP might have to actually campaign for Mayawati in a couple of seats, because the only way they can easily win those seats is if Mayawati gets 1 to 1.5 lakh votes. So that is a serious situation that might happen, and don't completely discount. So in 2014, BJP actually won Nagaur because of Hanuman Biliwan, because
Yeah.
BJP gets 4 lakh votes, Congress gets 3.4 lakhs, and Hanuman Beniwal gets 1.6 lakh votes. So and Jyoti Mirda again is a Congress face at that time. Now she's a BJP face. So that is another thing. Okay, they are not doing thing. But Barmer is the one of the most interesting outliers there, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Barmer is a seat where 2014 was a contest because of Jaswant Singh. Jaswant Singh actually came to within 80,000 votes, and had Congress actually not nominated someone and given their outside support to Jaswant Singh, he probably would have won Barmer in 2014, because
Yep.
Congress got 2.2 lakh votes. In 2019, Jaswant's kid Manvendra gets the ticket. Manvendra obviously is not as popular as his father, still gets about 5.2 lakh votes, but BJP's Kailash Chaudhary gets 8.5 lakh votes. Okay, so it's a 3 lakh margin. Now, Ravindra Singh Bhati, who's a popular MLA, who is from Sheo, he is now contesting as an independent. He used to be with the BJP in this election, and last time when he contested, he won in 2023 as an independent as well. So it's going to be interesting. So Sheo is one seat where the independents actually got more seats than Congress and BJP. I'm going to read from 2023. Ravindra Singh Bhati wins with about 80,000 votes. Then Fateh Khan, another independent, gets 75,000. Then Congress is at 50,000 and BJP is at 22,000. So at least in one assembly segment, he has a if you transpose it to the Lok Sabha, you have a 60 to 70,000 vote lead. So how over the BJP? So how does BJP manage to fix that? What
You
do you guys
see,
think?
That's also an interesting point you raise. Ravindra Bhati has been also very active in reaching out to the diaspora of Rajasthan, which is spread across the entire country, Bangalore, Pune. The networks. He's been traveling left, right, and center to get them to canvass and support him financially as well. He was an ABVP worker as well back in the day, so it's not surprising that he has ground base, unlike a lot of other youth netas of the BJP, so to speak. He is gaining a lot of popularity, and there is a genuine concern in both the BJP and the Congress that the Barmer seat is really up for grabs. Um, One big factor that is right now an elephant in the room is whether the anger of the Kshatriya Rajput community of Gujarat spreads across Rajasthan and Western UP particularly. Not so much Haryana. Haryana, the numbers are insignificant in that sense. Um, in Rajasthan, there's no large community that's dominant in terms of percentage number. So everybody is like a 10-15% kind of community in that sense. So if contest becomes even closer for that reason on any seat. Now it is up to be seen whether the anger that is building up because of Purushottam Rupala and his persistent candidacy starts hurting the BJP in a way that it does not anticipate. There is already some anecdotal evidence that's starting to emerge, I would say, from Western UP that Purushottam Ripala has become the latest icing on the cake with respect to a lot of grievances around the issues of the Rajput community,
Yeah.
Thakur community. I don't know whether it will translate into votes going away from the BJP or not, but certainly something the BJP would not want at this stage.
So I'm going to talk on that when we come to Gujarat, because that's a pretty significant issue, and it's blowing up more than was what Mr. Modi would have liked. And I'm going to say one thing: any extra day that Mr. Modi spends in Gujarat more than he's budgeted is a day lost for BJP in another state.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he should not have to campaign in Gujarat. So having said that, Kishore, you were trying to say something on that.
No, I think the 2023, 22 is what I'm looking for the BJP in Rajasthan. Anything less than that, and I think it would be infighting, not infighting, but the unforeseen
No, it is
consequences.
infighting. Miss
Uh,
Vasudha Raje is not even tweeting pictures from the rallies. It's a
yeah,
fact.
but
I mean, I have to go through
correct.
a timeline and figure out that there is an election going on.
Now, Adit, what's interesting is that she's not even campaigned anywhere beyond the.
True, true. Yeah,
Beyond Jhala Barbaran.
Yeah, she's not gone anywhere. So
Huh,
that's
so
yeah,
how will that
we.
how will that, and again the cast of the CM, Mr. Bhajanlal Sharma, is that going to adversely impact the BJP, right? Ki,
mm,
my caste was not given this prominence. People forget 2019 was a freak election in many ways in India. People
Yeah.
actually had almost forgotten how they vote and had voted to reimpose their give face in Narendra Modi, which is why there is no connection between Dausa in Rajasthan, Ratlam in Madhya Pradesh, Kolar in Karnataka, except all three are traditional Congress seats that voted for BJP last time.
yep,
And
yep,
there is another character. My friend Jai Mrug always says कि हर एक seat का एक character होता है. And that character, because that traditionally, like I'll give you my example, my seat of Ahmedabad West, the character of that seat is by default to go to BJP. Right. So does that character come, or Gandhinagar for that matter, the character of Gandhinagar is that to vote for the BJP. Now, interestingly, in 2009, Congress nominated a strong candidate, Suresh Patel, and Mr. L.K. Advani reduced his margin quite a bit. He lost by 1.2, he won by 1.2 lakh votes, but his vote share went down by 6.5% in 2009. So I again, the margin is too much for the Congress to make up, but
mm,
in a wave election in 2009 was a different kind of wave where Congress actually ended up doing far better. In UP they got 20 seats, more than they've ever gotten in the last 30 years, right? So similarly 2019 was that election for BJP, but at a far larger scale, because Mr. Modi was obviously more popular than Mr. Manmohan Singh.
yeah, and Pulwama, Balakot, of course. Coming back to Rajasthan, I feel that 22, 23 is what I'm looking for the BJP in that state. Anything less, and that would have a longer post-mortem session for the BJP. I think they would be discussing Rajasthan for a longer time.
And I mean,
Yes,
it would mean like 20 to 23 is still a letdown for BJP in terms of sweeping it in 2014, and when they won all 25 seats both time around, you know.
hmm,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, and BJP would genuinely be very scared. See,
hmm,
one thing is certain that BJP is literally sitting on the 20 seat mark right now. It is the five seats that we've discussed, or five or six seats. 19 to 20 is definitely a BJP number that the
hmm.
BJP is also very confident about. It is these five to six seats that the BJP, frankly, is not still confident on. Um, Brahmins, interestingly, had
Especially because
Congress
just to
supporters.
add something, especially because Maharashtra is such a jigsaw puzzle. That's why.
Precisely, precisely. So, Maharashtra with its 48 seats right now is up for grabs for anyone. So, honestly, you need to have the perfect strike rate, at least from Rajasthan, MP, as many seats as possible from Uttar Pradesh, and I mean, that is literally what? So, it's 80, 2,606 seats, so that's what, 130 odd seats. You need to get the maximum out of these 130 odd seats to be able to come anywhere close to uh, a good solid majority and not just a simple majority necessarily.
Correct. I completely agree. Interesting. We'll see what happens in Rajasthan, but certainly an election not completely over except for districts. Because, and again, like I said, this is in spite of the central Congress leadership essentially not doing anything in Rajasthan. So coming from there to Mohal and Nars, my home state of Gujarat, it votes in phase three. There is a big gap between phase two and three. I think there is almost 10 days, 26th April and 7th May. So, Mr. Modi has been given enough time to campaign if he really had to in Gujarat. But the problem is, uh, but the problem for the BJP is this big seat of Rajkot. So Mr. Purushottam Rupala, who's a trusted confidant of Mr. Modi, has been, entrusted with Rajkot. Rajkot is a relatively safe BJP seat. They have continuously won from 1989, except for in 2009 when Kuwar Jibe Bawalia won it in a shock result, and that was also because BJP replaced Vallabhbhai Kathiria, who was a sitting MP. Of course, now like most things are happening in Gujarat, Kuwar Jibe Bawalia is a part of the BJP, if I'm not mistaken, since 2018. Because मतलब Gujarat Congress में कोई रहा भी नहीं है. I would not be surprised if Arjun Modhwadia is listed as a MP. He's already a BJP MLA in the contesting the by-election from Porbandar. So you never know. But Congress still has one face, Paresh Dharani, who works in Saurashtra and has defeated Mr. Rupala before. And much to my shock, because Congress usually does very brainless things in Gujarat, they have actually nominated him from Rajkot and made it a contest for that. Now, Congress in Gujarat has a tie-up with Aam Aadmi Party. Jaitar Wasawa has been given Bharuch, and so he's a sitting MLA, and that has Dedia Pada, one of the few seats that are won by a significant margin in 2022. And Bhavnagar is, they're hoping that something would happen in Saurashtra. What is fascinating is two people in this seat from Baroda. Ranjanben Bhatt was given the seat, but then she withdrew, and Hemang Joshi was given, and the other person is Sabarkantha, where then Shobna Ben is the new MP. So they have actually, two sitting BJP MPs have actually declined to contest and have withdrawn after some Kada protest or something. This doesn't happen in Gujarat, by the way. And our good friend Dhaval Patel is also contesting from Valsad. So I'm going to see. Valsad, by the way, is a bellwether seat. It has always voted for whichever party is in power
Since
very consistent
1952,
since 1952.
every single
So
election.
every single election, it's a bellwether seat. So having said that, your take, Mohal, on Gujarat.
I mean, can I say it's 26-0?
I
Or
mean, you
that's not.
can say, I mean, like all the opinion polls are saying without conducting an opinion poll. I think they're
Yeah.
scared of saying anything less than 26 because they're like, what if we get trolled?
I mean, it's going to be 26-0. Obviously, there are some seats like the Rajkot seat where margins might come down due to the protests. There is a lot of push within some uh, uh, sections of BJP that can we replace Purushottam Rupal. I mean, that is a fascinating thing that why BJP has not withdrawn his candidature. I mean, he can, if Prime Minister does value his services and is like, he can easily be dropped as a candidate to quell the protest for now, and he can be accommodated. Let's say if is made a minister, he can come through by the Rajya Sabha route in 6 months. But that's kind of interesting why I think it's maybe they want to ride out the protests which are not dying down. I think he hasn't filed his nomination. I think the last day of filing nomination is 19th, so we are like literally 5 days. I think he has made some statements that he'll be filing the nomination on around the 16th. So the next few days will be kind of crucial, that if they want to replace him, now is the time. Otherwise, they might just have to ride it out with the anger, which I still don't think they will lose the seat per se. I mean, margins might come down, but I mean, when we're talking about like a 60-40 split in favor of BJP approximately, as you know, Adit, like the margins are like kind of insane, like 3.5 lakh votes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's I think BJP is just trying to bank on the factor that the margins are so large that even if, let's say, it comes down from 3 lakh to 2 lakh, they're still winning the seat. I mean, or even 1 lakh worst
No, no, the
case.
margin. No, no, the margin will come down if Congress has nominated Paresh Dhanani. There is no way
No,
they'll
no,
lose
I
this
meant
seat.
overall,
It-
overall,
uh,
like if like let's say if the anger is like in voters across the state, some of the
hmm.
margins might come down, but they are winning the state, so they might just ride out the storm
So
per
there is
se.
an
Because
the reason is not because of there is anger against BJP or something. It's just because BJP has just become too big in the state. Because when you have 150 MLAs, when you have crossovers from Congress, your local RSS cadre is going to get pissed off because
yeah,
they are aspirants for tickets as MPs and MLAs. They've
yeah,
actually पेट काट काट के party को बड़ा किया है, right? So there is that anger कि why should we work then, right? So
yeah,
the I am 120% sure that after Mr. Modi, whoever the BJP faces, Mr. Yogi Adityanath or whoever, they or even if Amit Shah is whoever it is, they are not going to be able to repeat a 26-0 or something just because of the sheer number of the people that have joined. And so let me give you an example of a seat called Dahod. Dahod had the lowest margins, which was still about a lakh votes last time amongst all the seats, right? Dahod, mein, what did Congress do? They nominated Babu Bhai Katara, who used to be a sort of quote unquote disgraced BJP MP because he got into a lot of controversies. And so he joined the Congress, but he managed to poll a 9% swing in favor of them. Okay, so Congress actually got to 41%. Now they have gone back to Prabhav and Taviyad, who had actually won the seat from in 2009. I don't see BJP Congress winning them, but Congress should definitely get to within 6 or 7%. If you are within 6 or 7%, you are one election away from actually trying to legitimately contest. So there are
yeah.
four seats. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
mean, see, like, sorry, like, but BJP, I mean, it's not BJP, sorry, Congress. I mean, if you exclude the last 2020 election where AAP split the vote, it has been a 40% party, even like Prime
Correct,
Minister Modi was a CM. So they
right.
have a good enough support base. The problem is like getting that last 10% has been like nearly impossible for the Congress to overcome that hurdle. So they are
Hmm.
like a perennial runner up
But
in like
but
Gujarat.
but 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 this time with app in the alliance, they should at least be able to get margins up in a couple of seats. But before we go into Kishore and Rohit, your take, and then we'll go into Madhya Pradesh and then wrap up with Maharashtra.
I think Gujarat is a very clear case. Frankly, BJP, if it doesn't get 20, and if it gets anything less than 26 out of 26, it is a loss of face for the party. It's simple as that.
Hmm.
Uh, Prime Minister hails from the state of Gujarat. The home state will definitely turn out to vote in his support, come what may.
Hmm.
Of course, I mean, the way the community anger is not being necessarily tackled, I think leaves much to be desired, honestly. And
Whether
I mean,
the community is angry or not, there are only two ways to determine. One, where Mr. Prime Minister Modi campaigns in Gujarat, and
yeah,
in what language he campaigns in.
exactly. Exactly. In
That will
Gujarat,
tell you.
yeah,
That
yeah,
will tell you. If he campaigns in Gujarati, you know that something. 2017, when I was shouting from the rooftops that BJP will not cross 100, and I had senior journalists and pollsters telling me on my DM saying it's bunk, they will cross 125. I'm like, bhai, go to Prime Minister Modi's rallies. He was talking everywhere in Gujarati for the first time since 2014 because he's like, I need to connect. And he won that election for BJP on his own sort of thing.
yeah,
So this time also similar thing. I am looking forward कि क्या होता है on that.
yeah, yeah. And I want to see. You're right. I mean, we all are waiting for that.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, I mean, what is क्या बोलूं मैं? मतलब अमित शाह भी
कुछ
lead.
नहीं. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Amit
no.
Shah set a new record of that victory margin.
No,
What
no,
do
no,
you?
he won't, because Navsari is going to get, CR Patil is going to get another 6.5 lakh margin. So Amit Shah
Yeah,
will get, see, people forget that Gandhinagar has a strong 40%, 35 to 40% Congress base.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah.
very easy seat for BJP to win. But Surat mein to koi hai hi nahi. So
yeah,
what used to happen is the erstwhile Gandhinagar seat, there used to be two seats. So I used to be, our area, which is Ellis Bridge and others, it used to be a part of Gandhinagar, but that got delimited to Ahmedabad West. So
Mm.
that is a margin of 90,000 votes that got shifted to Ahmedabad West. So that margin came out of that. So Gandhinagar now is a 12,
And
15% win
in
for BJP.
assembly, Gandhinagar, I mean, which is large number of government employees, has been a strong Congress area, and they used
Hmm.
to regularly win seats in the assembly
Hmm.
election from Gandhinagar. I mean, and this time, like, AAP did make some inroads, like in the local body elections.
Hmm.
So Gandhinagar is not a traditional. Yeah, in the Lok Sabha, it's a traditional BJP seat,
It's
but
yeah,
not
yeah.
in the assembly election. It's like strong Congress seat.
Not
So this
surprised.
time, and I mean, of course, last time he only won by 5.5 lakh votes. This time he might win by more
6 lakh,
votes.
6 lakh votes होने ही वाला है, so why are we? I mean,
No,
Gujarat is
like,
I mean, Gujarat, we don't even need a pathology case or an analysis case, honestly. It is
so
that straight right now.
there are three seats or four seats that are going to be Jamnagar, Dahod, Sabarkantha, and this state, Rajkot. Because of this, and another fifth state where Congress is actually contesting is Banaskantha, where they have given their local MNA, local MP, Geniben Thakur, a seat, who actually defeated. She used to be a close aide of Alpesh Thakur. Then Alpesh Thakur split, and then she remained with the Congress, and she defeated the Shankar Chaudhary, who was said to be the next chief minister of BJP from Gujarat, and essentially swung that election of 2007. Matlab, it was a history-defying election because Mr. Rupani got repeated for 3 or 4 more years, and Mr. Shankar Chaudhary is nowhere now. I mean, minister hi aisa kuch, but he was that senior. So now this time she's been nominated, and BJP, sensing that some issue is happening, they have also changed their nominee. So they've done Rekhaben Chaudhary. So it's going to be interesting. Also, Banaskantha has a 20% Muslim population. So,
Makes
हाँ, so I may ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, but a lot of change in migration and stuff has happened. So that is what I've read. But enough about Gujarat. Let's go to Madhya Pradesh. What do you guys think about Madhya Pradesh? Kishore, you haven't spoken. You go first before I share the thoughts.
I think the Vidhan Sabha election was a pleasant surprise for everybody. And the way BJP romped into back into power, despite Mamaji telling that I mean, it was basically Mamaji's victory, but still he didn't become the chief minister after that. So accommodating him now in Vidisha is yet another message from Delhi BJP, making sure that he will be in the cabinet in Delhi after the election. So I think BJP is kind of sending all the right messages. In terms of the opposition, the Congress, I think, just not able to get their act together like every other state. Chhindwara, with all the confusion with regards to Kamal Nath joining BJP, not joining BJP, I think that might be the high-profile constituency from Madhya Pradesh. Uh, I don't see BJP losing very many there, hardly one or two. Uh, and beyond that, I think will be a shocker. But I think yeah, just one or two is what I feel would be the total outcome. Adit?
So I agree. I think four seats to watch out: Ratlam, which is a traditional Congress stronghold; Morena, which is going to be interesting with the local assembly seats; Chhindwara, of course, Kamal Nath's thing, and those are the three. I would say three major seats that I would look out, and then the fourth seat in Madhya Pradesh. I would put Mandla maybe, but I'm not sure if Mandla they are going to form enough challenge or not, because Fagan Kulaste is an old face. But last time in Mandla, in the last election, Congress actually won 5 out of the 8 MLAs that are zoned to it. And in 2019, even though BJP won it, the Congress reduced the margins to about 90,000 votes. So we'll see what happens in Mandla. But that is those are my four seats that I would be looking at. Mohal, before I go to Rohit.
Yeah, I think pretty much repeat, like it was 27-2 in 2014, 28-1 in 2019. So
Hmm.
they should win like 25 plus seats. I mean, closer
Yeah, yeah.
to like a 28. The Chindwara, like as Kishore mentioned, might be like a surprise for the BJP if they can snatch it. I mean, last time also, Adit, you can check the numbers. I think it was a very close. I think they lost by 2-3% only, right? So it
Yes.
may not be the surprise like what it is.
40,000 votes.
Yeah, so I mean, there still remains an intriguing possibility that they could still go 29-0, you know.
Hmm. It could, but I doubt it because BJP didn't do itself any favors by trying to highlight कि कमलनाथ आएगा बीजेपी में नहीं आएगा and stuff like that. It actually gave them sort of a bad. I mean, it could happen, but I'm just saying that
But
the
see,
chances are
some of
there.
the rumors, like what I read later on, was like Kamalnath himself to get a better deal for himself. That the
Hmm.
rumors were floated by Kamalnath himself versus BJP floating those rumors. So who knows? Like,
It's possible, but regardless, I think Vidisha, Mr. Chauhan is fighting. I think last time the margin was 5 lakh votes. So when Sushma ji fought, it was 4 lakh votes. I think Mr. Chauhan might beat it and go to 6 lakh votes this time.
so
So
so that so maybe we should start a bet on whether CR Patil or Shivraj Singh Chauhan will win by bigger margin this time
who
around.
knows? Knowing BJP, Mr. Modi might do it himself from Banaras. You never know. So he might take it on as a challenge. But it's interesting. I think you're looking at. So do you agree, Rohit, that those four seats are the ones to look forward? I mean, watch out for, or any other ones you are saying? Uh, are you looking? Because I'll just say why. Morena NS Tomar was the same. I think his son Shiv Mangal Singh Tomar has been given a seat. But again, Morena last time out of 8, they gave 5 MLAs to Congress, and Congress was again within that 1 lakh margin, so it was within the 10% range.
So, Morena is another seat, by the way, interestingly, where the Rajput factor will come in again. Funnily,
Yeah. No, and another factor, BSP got 1.3 lakh votes, and that's the only way BJP wins. So the local joke in MP is that BJP will now start canvassing for BSP in Morena.
exactly. I want to see what happens there. Uh, the the other seat, of course, is Indore for me.
Hmm,
Indore is one seat which has a significant minority population, supposedly, uh,
hmm,
especially in the city areas. So, how does that play out? Uh, Other than that, frankly, Chindwara is not a seat that I see in contest for the Congress. I mean, the Congress will lose it this time. I mean,
hmm,
it has been on the cards for a while. The and the whole rumor about Kamal Nath moving to the BJP with lock, stock and barrel was essentially because it was. I mean, was already a sense on the ground that this is a seat that the BJP will definitely swing towards itself. And if even if the BJP does not win it, I will not be surprised if the victory margin is barely a few thousand votes this time. I mean, this is such a close contest this time for me in Chinwada. The
hmm,
republic system in see what happened is a lot of the fiefdom type leaders of the Congress have been phased out on the margins. They've lost their strength. Somebody like Digvijay Singh, frankly, has nothing to say today.
correct.
Arjun Singh, who used to be an old time leader, no, not there for a very long time.
Hmm, hmm,
Um, Even the likes of this guy, Apna Kamal Nath, uh, barely has any strength left on the ground because most of the party has moved out of the party out of sheer frustration anyway.
correct.
And with Jyotiraditya Scindia already moving and bringing along with him 19 MLAs back then,
Hmm,
right? It was 19 if I'm not mistaken, which was a very big,
that's right.
basically in the whole Bundelkhand region,
Hmm,
northern MP region, a stronghold for the BJP, barring
correct.
Morena. I mean, what do you expect? You can't
What
expect
do you
anything better.
expect? Absolutely. So Indore mein Shankar Lalwani is again against Akshay Bham, and last time BJP won by a big margin. So we'll see. MP, interestingly and strangely, is voting in 4 phases. I don't know why, because usually it's been less than like 2 phases or something like that. But I was just trying to show you guys what are the key contests there. But yeah, Rohit, what were you saying? Yes.
No, so one other thing that I would like to talk about is the fact that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is being brought into the center with the
Hmm,
Lok Sabha. ticket. I will. My speculation is that he will definitely find a place in the incoming cabinet for the new government.
Hmm.
What is the role? Will it be agriculture? Because Narendra Singh Tomar is out, interestingly.
Hmm.
Is it going to be the agriculture portfolio, which is a very important portfolio for this government for a variety of reasons for the last 10 years? Uh,
Hmm.
Kisan Samman Nidhi was one of the strategies, in fact, that was brought out
Hmm.
as part of its increasing agricultural income for farmers. That has been a promise, and I mean, there have been hits and misses on that promise for a while. And MP was one state that performed very well agriculturally in the past 15 odd years under Shivraj Singh Chauhan for unlocking a lot of the positive benefits for the whole value chain in the state. Is that the ministry is going to get into something to watch out for?
One thing that people forget
Yes.
is
Mhm.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan is just all of 65 years old.
Hmm.
Although he has been in national limelight for so long, people. I mean, you shouldn't penalize people for thinking that he is a fit case for the Margadarshik Mandal.
Hmm.
However, I think he'll still be a good. He still has good contributions to make, even in the cabinet in Delhi. So I think that's something that BJP can totally utilize him for.
Absolutely. Well, whatever happens, we'll be here to see. Now, for the last state, and we reserved the most complicated for the last, and then we'll end with predictions. The mammoth 5 week effort comes to a close with the great state of Maharashtra and the absolute madness. And look at this madness: six parties, five phases, 48 seats. No one has any ungodly idea what the hell is going on. No one knows how many seats, till everything is everyone's contesting in the NDA yet. The opposition has finally figured out 21-17-10 formula. This is still up in the air. The other side, Vanchit Bahujan Agadi of Prakash Ambedkar is supporting sometimes the Congress. He's not supporting the other times. Imtiaz Jalil and AIMIM, they won the Aurangabad seat, I believe, in shock, or Sambhajinagar in shock last time, as a shock result because the vote split. This time, what will happen? Ramdas Athavale, he's a part of the government in the center, but he's not been allocated any seat. So, and there are, see, Aurangabad, they still haven't given any seats. BJP still hasn't given. Nashik, they haven't nominated. Palghar, it's not been, and Thana. Thana is being contested. Mumbai North Central is Poonam Mahajan's old seat. No one has been nominated from there. And Mumbai South, no one's being nominated. This is the strangest election I have seen in the history of Maharashtra. No one knows which side anybody is on and what
Ha,
they're voting for.
everybody is in the NCP and out of the NCP at the same time, in the Shiv Sena, out of the Shiv Sena.
This is the Pramod Mahajan election. Inside the front, outside the front,
Mm.
supporting the front, outside the government, inside the government, outside the state. क्या हो रहा है यार, किसी को पता ही नहीं है. So,
I mean, forget the people who would have to vote. I mean,
हाँ,
I pity the people of Maharashtra for taking such
yeah,
a
so let,
decision
let me
on the
give you an
polling day.
example. Raver, Raksha Khadse is the face. Eknath Khadse was in the NCP a few weeks ago. Now he's back to the BJP. He was an old BJP face. And then Unmesh Patil, who was a sitting sort of MP from Jalgaon, from BJP, has joined the Sena. Per my news, I think he was supposed to be given the seat. Of course, this says that Jalgaon ki seat is Karan Pawar, but I think it's going to probably go to Unmesh Patil. So, and he's going to be fighting Smita Wag. So it's madness. Sorry, go ahead, Kishore.
Yeah, I mean, point taken about all these people jumping ships, but more importantly, I think it is also the confusion within the candidates and within the political parties themselves. Even yesterday, I saw news reports of Sharad Pawar going and meeting his nephew Ajit Pawar, which kind of sends all the wrong signals to everybody in both camps. So I think that way the people are totally confused. Point number one. Point number two, among all the hotspots that we see now, I think it's only the BJP and the Congress who managed to keep their symbols. From what I've read, the Shiv Sena I don't think they've managed to keep the symbols. Neither of them, right? Both of them are fighting on brand new symbols now,
Hmm.
and I think it's the same with the NCP as well. I'm not sure if Ajit Pawar has managed to grab the clock symbol. So I think that way
It's
symbols
listed, but
also.
no one knows.
Exactly. So I think that's the confusion. That's the level of confusion we're talking about. And so close to the elections, every day you have confusion about which party is going to contest from which seat, and who
Hmm.
would be the contestant. So I think that is the level of confusion that we have. So kudos to anybody who would stick his neck out and do any prediction from this
Correct.
state.
So let me, this is a classic example. Sanjay Jadhav, who was with the Sena, stayed with the Uddhav Sena, right? And so they've given it to Madhav Jhankar. Madhav Jhankar is the seat. Now, last times was Ragesh Whittaker from the NCP. Now, what is that NCP? That is this. When you click on the NCP, it is Ajit Pawar's NCP. But then where is Mr. Rajan Whittaker? No one knows, right? Because now that, so it is a total madcap race. Now you also have in Mumbai, there is a significant issue that, so this is the traditional Mumbai split. Was the BJP got used to get about a 90% strike rate in the Gujarati vote, some of the Marathi vote, and then some of the North and South Indian vote. It was in pockets, and Sena got a majority of the Marathi vote. That is why they were an unbreakable alliance. Now what has happened is, uh, they have split, and NCP is not a factor, as much of a factor in Bombay. Shinde is more in North Mumbai, in Thane, Kalyan belt. So what happens to the Mumbai? So there is a seat of Mumbai South where the Sena, it's a 60%, it's a split seat, 50% Gujarati, 50% Marathi seat. Sena is going to play it as Gujarati versus Marathi, and that is why BJP is not sure whether to play the Gujarati card or Marathi card, and they are kind of confused.
I think one interesting face that I'm waiting to be announced is Milind Deora. I want to see if his name is announced or not. He was a Mumbai South MP, if I'm not mistaken, in the past, and is definitely considered an I mean, electoral force in many ways. Um, it's by the way one more point to add to the confusion of Maharashtra. Navneet Kaur Rana, who's an NDA candidate, her SC certificate has been taken away apparently, in all that's been going on, and there's a lot of confusion whether whether she'll be replaced or not because of that, because the appellate tribunal has rejected a appeal on it so far. So that's also another seat where God knows what's going to happen. Amravati, that's another seat where God knows what's going to happen. Um, it's very interesting that Ajit Pawar's party has been given only 4 seats so far, 4 or 5 seats, and not more than that. So, are they underestimating his capability, or are they very cagey about the very limited
No,
impact
they
in
ये
looking?
भाई no ये this is a realization that many Maharashtra watchers have told, that a lot of people in Mumbai were putting their heads in the sand that Ajit Pawar is not a factor beyond a few seats, and he's only been given Raigad, which is a Sena base in Konkan. He's been given Baramati because to make it a Pawar versus Pawar, Shirur where there is a chance, and then Osmanabad. Right? He has not been given Madha, where Madha was a Vijay Singh Mohite Patil was used to be with the NCP, switched to that. Now here is the madness of Madha, right? Dhairyashil, Dhairyashil Mohite Patil, who was in the BJP, quit the BJP and joined NCP Sharad Pawar. Vijay Singh Mohite Patil was in the Sharad Pawar faction, joined the BJP last time. So now BJP has given it to Ranjit Nayak Nimbalkar, and so the fact of the matter is BJP is not confident of winning more than 30 seats for the NDA in Maharashtra. So they are
Yes,
doing whatever it takes to get the number right. Right. And
and,
unfortunately, my friends in Mumbai, when I tell them, they are justifying everything, because in the long run, this is a very bad thing, because Maharashtra BJP, Devendra Fadnavis had got it to the cusp, and now
yeah,
they have
made
gone
it.
back to square one.
Yeah, he made it the number one party in the state. They literally were pushing themselves back for no reason, frankly. And and you see some of the tickets also that have been given the candidates from the BJP. Some of them are really old guard in that sense, right? Chandrapur we have, or even you look at the Beed, where Pankaja Munde has been brought again. So they're playing safe. It's very clear they're trying to play as safe as they can on any seat that they find. I mean, even somebody like one name I can forget his name. Piyush Goyal. I mean, Piyush Goyal, frankly, I don't know even if he can contest an election. He's never contested elections like this. So, will he have that? He's contesting a very safe seat at the end of the day, I think, for the BJP.
Matlab, that's a lamppost seat. Only one person has ever beaten BJP in that seat.
Govinda.
Two people, no,
Govinda.
two people, and Sanjay Nirupam. Both are now with the BJP alliance. So,
Exactly.
but also that because the reason why Govinda beat them is in 2004. Ram Nayak was considered an older face and stuff, and they were not able to get the additional North Indian votes that they typically get. Congress split the North Indian vote, right? So that is another interesting situation. Also,
And
North.
one more thing to add, Adit, uh,
Uh,
even the royal family, the Maratha royal family
hmm,
of Chhatrapati Sahib,
hmm,
both kinds of contesting from opposite parties in different seats. So
correct.
Udayan Raje Bhosle ji is contesting from Satara, which is
Hmm,
considered to be his base. While from Kolhapur, you're seeing Shahu Chhatrapati Maharaj ji contesting. So I mean, because of the two factions, the families having split. So it's very fascinating what's going on. I'm
hmm.
very curious to see if both of them end up, what would be the conversation they have. One is, by the way, contesting on the INC and not even one of the regional NCPs or the Shiv Sena. That's the fascinating part. It's INC versus BJP going on in these.
Yes, exactly. See, Piyush Goyal did himself no favors because the minute he was made a nominee, he tweeted in Gujarati, and that pissed off even more people. Yeah, but the fact is that area has a lot of Gujaratis in the Borivali, Kandivali, Malad region, and so he did. But the thing is that because he's not a Marathi himself, so that pissed off even more people because there is that vote in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, that is still gets insecure about a non-Marathi quote unquote ethnic speaking getting that seat. So how does BJP allay the concerns? The thing now they forget that BJP at one point used to have two Gujarati MPs, Kirit Somaiya and Jayanti Ben Mehta from
Yeah.
Mumbai. But the reason why it worked is because Shiv Sena used to sweep Thane, Kalyan, and the other belts, right? So it actually was representative of the demographics of Mumbai, the 60-20 split. So you had 4-2, and then the outliers. But this time, because of
One
this
of the
two,
very funny one of the very funny campaign schemes that I saw from Piyush Goyal's team was him reaching out to chartered accountants and securing their vote. So, I
uh,
mean, maybe it
that
is
is
also
an
a
no,
number of CAs in
my
Mumbai.
joke about this is all the chartered accountants will be in North Mumbai working for the businessmen of South Mumbai. So he might be killing two birds with one stone. So on that, but before we wrap up Maharashtra, let's talk a little bit about Vidarbh and the Marathwada areas and stuff. And in the long term, what do you guys? So a couple of minutes, Kishore and Mohal, your take, and then I'll end with Rohit, and then we'll end with our final seat numbers.
I think Devendra Fadnavis not being the chief minister is hurting BJP. I think that is something that they should have taken. Somehow having Eknath Shinde as the chief minister and Devendra Fadnavis as the deputy chief minister, I think that is hurting the party in the state is what I think. Both in Marathwada and in Vidarbha, because in the long run you will have nothing to show for. Remember the last time around, the Jalyuk Shivers was the flagship program for the party in the drought-prone areas. And this time around, they don't have much to show for those two regions. So I think that is something that BJP will find tough to answer. Adit?
I agree completely. Mohal, your take on it?
Yeah, I think this, as you said, is a complete madness of an election. I mean, it's so hard to keep up. I mean, earlier we had like parties switching sides, so you could say, okay, I'll transfer the vote share on a certain percentage. But now, when the same party is in both camps, like with a split down the middle, it's like just completely insane. Of I don't know how the pollsters are going to get it right. And on top of that, none of the election symbols, I mean, there is still a significant population which votes based on basis of election symbols. So the symbols are new. I mean, I don't know, I mean, maybe it might be names people vote for. I think that's why maybe some of the alliances are going with old hands, so that at least people vote on basis of names and not symbols.
No, and you have those madness. Na Gajanan Kirtikar is in the Shinde Sena, and his son Amol Kirtikar is an Uddhav Sena nominee from Mumbai Northwest. Matlab,
Can't
if
get this hard than this.
I'm telling you, so there are such absolute madness. Mr. Manohar Joshi is no longer alive, but he would essentially just be sitting in a revolving chair, and he's like, "घुमाओ मेरे को, जहाँ पे भी मैं रुक जाऊंगा, मैं उसी party के साथ हूँ." So, Mr. So this is because I remember when Uddhav and Raj were fighting. Oh, and Raj Thakre, I totally
Oh
forgot.
yeah.
He did a rally in Gudi Padwa, and he said in Marathi, माझा फक्त support Narendra Modi just for the Lok Sabha, not for the Vidhan Sabha. So he is inside the front for the Lok Sabha, outside the front for the Vidhan Sabha. And Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha is only 6 months. He is inside the alliance, but not fighting on the alliance.
Which, by the way, Kripa Shankar
Huh.
Singh, who used to be the tour de force for Congress in Mumbai region, is with the
Huh.
BJP now, by the way.
And fighting from Bihar in
Yeah.
Jaunpur. I'm telling you, India's and I have absolutely nothing against Mr. Raj Thakre if he stood for one thing and stuff like that. And the fact is, the Marathi Asmita is a very powerful cause. A lot of Marathis, and I actually support them on this, relate to it, and they should be, on that. But the thing is, it's been a bit of a joke with the flip flops he has done and what he stands for. So BJP stands to gain, but I think BJP is not doing it for any electoral gains. They are only doing it to split the votes in Mumbai South and Mumbai South Central, because in the Dadar, Shivadi, all those regions where there is a Varli, where Shiv Sena is strong, they are hoping that Raj gets some of the votes for the BJP.
Yeah. Vidarbha, by the way, the I mean, BJP is very strong in Vidarbha for me. So I don't see them really having a problem.
That is their strongest region. Correct.
Exactly. Marathwada is, and by the way, Devendra Fadnavis is also a representative from Vidarbha. So
As is
is
Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who everyone seems to forget.
and they have repeated places like Sudhir Mungantiwar also, which is
From Chandrapur. Yeah.
Very confident about it.
Not given to Hansraj Ahir, but Sudhir Mungantiwar is being repeated.
So I mean, I think the real problem for them is genuinely Marathwada, because nobody sure what way Marathwada will swing right now. Even Mumbai as a region, I think, is very important for them. They don't know what's going to happen there. So
no one knows. No one has any idea. So Mohal, your closing thoughts, and we're going to wrap up then.
It's just going to be I don't know. I pity the pollster who's going to try to.
You are going to give us our first prediction on Maharashtra. Give just because you said you pity the pollster, I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your ideal number of seats for BJP?
BJP or NDA, because BJP and NDA split karna bhi abhi
NDA bol do. My thing for NDA is going to be a 35-13 split or a 32.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think 30 to somewhere between 30 to 40, depending on how the votes split for NDA. Somewhere between.
I am expecting them to at least 10. I was trying to expand the screen. At least 10 seats from the last time that they won, just because of the inherent internal contradictions. Because आपका cadre किसके लिए campaign करेगा? They are going to get confused, and I fully expect BJP either has to go back to Sena or form another alliance. This alliance will not sustain in the assembly elections next year.
Yeah, that's another whole podcast, like how this alliance is sticks till October, November.
And I say that with utmost humility. I don't think if BJP goes it alone, they have 288 serious candidates to fight elections in 288 seats in Maharashtra in Vidhan Sabha. And before they said कि अरे 200 कैंडिडेट तो मुंबई में है, I know, but वो 200 कैंडिडेट 30 सीट के लिए है. If you go to areas of Marathwada and stuff, BJP doesn't. And again, in all this, we forgot another addition to BJP, the great Mr. Shri Ashok Chavan, who is trying to get Nanded and Latur, both seats back to BJP and stuff. Bottom line is, since Vilasrao Deshmukh died, so there are two leaders. After Pramod Mahajan died, BJP in Maharashtra was in a free fall for about 10 years. And then Vilasrao Deshmukh died, and Congress has still been in a free fall for 12 since. So that is the reality of it all. Kishor and Rohit, before we wrap up.
I think, Kishor bhai.
Sorry. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier was about the ban on onion exports. I think it was supposed to be lifted in February, March. Somehow the central government did not do that. So I think the onion farmers from Maharashtra who were expecting the ban to be lifted, they seem to be feeling shortchanged about it. So again, the entire Baramati, Latur, Nanded, that belt, the onion on Solapur as well, the onion farmer growing belt. I think that is where the maximum discontent for BJP might come up. I think that is one thing that I would want to look out for on June 4th. But with respect to the prediction, I would be a little more conservative. I would feel 28 to 32 is what NDA would manage.
Very interesting, Rohit. And
Yeah,
then we'll go with the final predictions.
I concur with the numbers Kishore bhai has put out. I think I would be very surprised if the BJP crosses 30 right now.
Hmm.
In Maharashtra, given, I mean, just the sheer confusion that is madness that has these alliances created. And I will also stick my neck out to say one more thing that a lot of people might not appreciate. I think just like the TDP, BJP, Janasena alliance, I don't see this lasting beyond the Vidhan Sabha election, frankly.
I agree. Unless and until they do it for the sake of power. Well, whatever happens, guys, thank you for tuning in and thank you guys for joining in for this massive 5-part series. We are going to end quickly by saying people by their final NDA numbers. So I think we can be rest assured that they are coming back to power. So, Kishore, I'm going to go with you first. NDA overall numbers. What do you think? BJP or NDA? You can say it either way.
BJP, I feel 20 to 25 more than what they had earlier. So
Hmm.
close to 330 is
320.
what I feel.
Okay. And NDA closer
330.
to 400.
NDA would be close to around 365. That's what I feel. So
Interesting.
330, 365. Yeah.
365. Mohal, your numbers.
I would say like 315 to 350 for BJP and NDA. I mean, given the madness with the allies, I mean, maybe it would be, I guess, 350 to 400 ish, because I don't know. I mean, how many allies are contesting? There's so many
So your
changing by
outer
the day.
limit is so more. Breaking news: one outer limit is 400. We have at least the 400 par wala.
I mean,
Rohit,
maybe a
you?
little bit under 400, maybe, So,
So we'll give
but
you three.
BJP, I mean, I would say like 315 to 350 would be the range. I mean, definitely because of the gains in the South Bengal and stuff. I mean, I can give like four big predictions, like two vote percentages. So Tamil Nadu 10% plus vote percentage. Uh, Overall in India, BJP 40% vote percentage. In Bengal, they will not be lower than TMC for sure, and in Uttar Pradesh, they won't do worse than 2014. So they'll NDA will be 73 or more, and in Bengal, like they'll be equal to or more than TMC. So those are my four big predictions.
All right, we got our headlines. So Rohit, you next.
Okay, I'll be probably sounding a bit of a spoil sport here. My number right now for the BJP is on the lower side. I think it's somewhere between 285 to 300. I
Hmm.
and allies. I mean, one of my bigger worries is because the allies are not getting the kind of traction the BJP is getting. So the strike rate doesn't convert for them. Um, from the apart from the BJP, the allies. I mean, if you add in the allies now, I don't think right now the BJP is crossing 340. I may be wrong. I
Hmm.
mean, I would be more than happy to be wrong here. But as of now, I don't see the allies being able to pull off, because the allies are also in very big states like Maharashtra, where frankly situation is very messy. So I don't know how this will play out. And vote transfers don't happen naturally when there are such unnatural partners in alliances. Like, in Maharashtra, the alliances on both sides rather are very unnatural, honestly. So I don't know how that will translate. In UP, even for instance, the kind of RLD has been given 2 seats, but if you ask me, frankly, they will not even be able to bother. I mean, even those 2 seats, जो उनकी हालत है, I don't know if it is even worthy of those 2 seats. So yeah, either it will have to be the BJP sailing the boat for them rather than them sailing the boat for BJP in many areas. That is how it's sadly turning out to be.
Same for me. I think my BJP numbers are 290 to 310, and my NDA numbers, I don't see them crossing 350. So I think that would be my number. But this is again, given the situation now, the elections are still 1.5 months away, or बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. But whatever happens, we'll be here discussing it. Thank you so much, Rohit, Kishore, and Mohal. This has been a fabulous one. अब results का विश्लेषण करेंगे. Kishore, you had one last point. You said.
Watch out for Coimbatore on in the first place.
Absolutely. Next week, Coimbatore, we'll find out more. But if anything changes, anything happens, we'll be here on Mind Podcast talking about it. Please like, share, subscribe, follow them on their social media handles. Drop them a like, guys. They've been very patient and very accommodating with their time and stuff, but it's been great fun recording. We'll be back soon, guys, with our results podcast. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with our regular weekly Mind Podcast from next week. Stay tuned for that. But we had to do a special one for the elections. Thank you and have a good one. And may the best party win in the elections. Let's hope for a fascinating, fabulous election because India never ceases to surprise. That's all I'm going to say.